Alright, this is lesson 28 for 7th grade, and today we're talking about two-step problems and average, also known as the mean. So two-step problems we've actually been working on. We just haven't realized that they've been two-step problems, but they've seen them in the past. And we've also worked with average, probably more so last year. This is, I think, if I remember right, only the first or maybe the second time that we've talked about it this year. But either way, two things we've seen before that we're going to bring back up and just make sure we have a good handle on them. So I forgot to put my goals up on the slideshow, but basically what we want to be able to do is be able to solve a two-step problem. Well, first of all, we're going to want to be able to set that two-step problem up and then solve for what they're asking for. Then for average and mean, we're just going to be able to want to be able to calculate what the average and the mean is. Okay? So best thing to do, of course, is to look at an example. So we're going to start off with an example here. This would be an example of a two-step problem, and it involves money. So it's something we use often, every day. Alright. Julie went to the store with $20. If she bought 8 cans of dog food for 67 cents per can, how much money did she have left? Alright. In order to figure out how much money she had left, we have to figure out how much she spent. I'm going to grab a new marker. Hopefully this one's better. Alright, so how do we figure out what she spent? Well, she paid for 8 cans, and each can was 67 cents. So I'm going to change 67 cents. Ooh, this one's even worse. Alright. I have faith that this one will be good. 67 cents, I'm going to rewrite. There we go. And she spent 67 cents on 8 cans. So we're going to multiply those. 8 times 7 is 56. Carry our 5. 8 times 6 is 48. Plus 5 should be 53. Alright. That looks good. We have to move our decimals 2 spots over. 1, 2. So we're at $5.36. Alright. We're not done though, because this is what she spent, and the question says how much did she have left? Well, she went there with $20. And she spent this much, so we're going to take that away. Basically, we're calculating how much change she received, basically. So, we're going to have to go all the way to this 2 and borrow 1. 10 minus 6 is 4. 9 minus 3 is 6. And 9 minus 5 is 4. And 1 minus 0. So, $14.64 is what she had left. Two-step problem, because first we had to figure out how much she spent, and then whatever she spent we had to take away from how much she came in with. So that's how much she had left, $14.64. So a two-step keep saying that wrong. A two-step equation or a two-step problem, something that we're definitely capable of. We just might not have known that we've been doing it thus far. Alright, so big thing with average. Alright, basically what the average is we're going to take the sum of all the numbers that we have, and we're going to divide that by the number of numbers that we have. And that's going to be easier to see once we look at an example. So we can use this one right here. So it says there are 4 squads in the physical ed class. Squad A has 7 players, Squad B has 9 players, Squad C has 6 players, and Squad D has 10 players. What is the average number of players per squad? Okay, so we have 4 squads, and then it tells us how much each has. So we've got 7 players, 9 players, 6 players, and 10 players. Alright, Now the number of squads, that's going to go on the bottom here. That's how many numbers we have. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 squads. And then we add up how much, or how many people are in each squad. So we're going to go 7 plus 9 plus 6 plus 10. So whatever we get up here, when we add all these together, we're going to divide it by 4 and we should get our average. So let's see, 7 and 9, well, I'm going to do this a little differently. Let's do, it doesn't really matter. 7 and 9, if we add those together, we get 16. We also get 16 if we add these together. So then if we add 16 and 16, we get 32. And that's all over 4. So basically what we have here is 32 divided by 4, and we should know that that's 8. So the average number of players per squad would be 8. Alright, that's how we find average. We're going to take a look at some more of those here, because that's a big concept in math, being able to find the average of something. So let's look at this one. When people were seated, there were 3 in the first row, 8 in the second row, and 10 in the third row. What was the average number of people in each of the first 3 rows? Alright, so how many numbers do we have? We have 3. 1, 2, 3. That's going to go on the bottom. That's how many numbers we have. And then remember, we're going to sum or add up the 3 numbers that we have. 3 plus 8 plus 10. Alright? So, let's just go across here. 3 plus 8 is 11. Plus 10 should get us to 21. And that's all over 3. So now we have 21 divided by 3. 7. So the average number of people in the first 3 rows would be 7. And as I said before, we also have a different name for average. Mean is another name for average. Okay? So if they ask for the mean or the average, they're talking about the same thing. Don't let that confuse you. And eventually we'll get into the other terms. There's mean, median, mode, and range. We'll get into those later. But just for now, realize and understand that mean and average, they're the same. They're the same thing. Alright, so in a word game, 5 students in the class scored 100 points, 4 scored 95, 6 scored 90, and 5 scored 80. What was the mean of the scores? This one's a little tricky, but we can see that we're going to have 5 that scored 100, 4 that scored 95, and 6 that scored 90, and 5 that scored 80. So we have to be careful because there aren't just 4 numbers. We have a lot more than that. We've got 5 100s. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to say 5 times 100. And we're going to add 4 times 95 plus 6 times 90 plus 5 times 80. Now, how many do we actually have is the question. What are we going to divide by when this is all said and done? Well, we're going to divide by how many scores we have. Well, we've got 5 scores plus 4 scores plus 6 scores plus 5 scores. So really we have 5, 9, 15, 20. We have 20 scores that we have here all together. Alright? That one is a little more tricky because it looks like we have 4 scores, but each of these numbers, the worded numbers, tell us how many we actually have all together. So we gotta be careful on that one. Alright. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna do this. That is one way you can write it out. Just to save some space, I'm gonna say, alright, let's box this up. Divided by 20. So we're gonna do everything inside here first, and our last step is divide by 20. So 5 times 100 should be 500. Plus 4 times 95, that would be 4 times 100 minus 20. So 400, so 380. And then we've got 6 times 90, which would be 540. And then 5 times 80, which would be 400. All that divided by 20. So now if we add everything together here, I'll just go on the side. 500, 380, 540, and 400. We add all those up. 0, 12, and 15. It's like 18. Should we get in there? Yep, 18. So 1,820. If we add all that up, divided by 20. So now we have to do this divided by 20, and we'll do that down here. So 20 goes in here. How many times? 9. So 180. Subtract, we get 20. Goes in there once. Subtract, we get 0. So, average score should have been 91. 91 for the average score, I believe. I just want to make sure that we have that one correct. I don't want to give you the wrong solution. I'll say it once, I'll say it again. Math teachers make mistakes too. So, yeah, looks like we got that one right. Alright, so that was our lesson 28, yes, 28 for 7th grade.